All right, the next patch for Wayfinder is here or coming this week. And so when you watch this video, it goes over a lot of cool stuff, including the ability to mass craft the Gloomstone, something that we've been wanting it to do for a long time. Let's go ahead and jump into these notes. So first, we're going to start off with general. It says you can now craft multiple Gloomstones and imbuements at once. The pause menu now displays correct scaled power level. Store bundled thumbnails will no longer show only one item on the feature page. Added a fast travel flyout menu, which is a list of unlocked signal flares to choose from. This can be accessed from any zone map. So that's pretty good because when you're playing on PlayStation, you have your controller in your hand and you gotta scroll down across the map to find the next Gloomstone, signal fire to teleport to. It just takes forever. So just having that menu pop up so you can just kind of scroll down to the list will be a lot easier. I hope they fix something in here to where we can scroll our echo list easier also on consoles because that is a pain. It says the character menu now has a new visual presentation, including detailed tooltips for character stats. We also have performance. Shaders are now preloaded when the game starts, which means, when you're going into new areas, stuff should load a lot faster. Continued performance improvements to both Skylight and the Highlands. Various improvements to how the inventory loads and replicated across servers. The character menu has been reworked, resulting in improved performance through menus. The game will now default to medium settings on first launch. This will not affect current users, only users starting the game for the first time, because a lot of people have issues playing the game. Maybe they have it set too high, but the truth is the system really can't handle it, so it's going to default to medium. Also, I wonder if these various improvements to how the inventory loads and replicated across servers will help us increase how much we can have in our accessories and things of that nature. They're probably going to watch it this while to the next patch to see how the servers and stuff operate before they up the levels again. Next, we're going to go into our Wayfinders and weapons. So they've introduced a new system for soft targeting, which will increase responsiveness to the direction the player is inputting. This should reduce cases where nearby but off-target enemies are selected over enemies which are on target but further away. So when you're trying to select an enemy and do an attack to it, it'll sometimes hit the wrong one if you're not hard locked onto it or whatever. So this is going to allow you to just really hit that enemy that you're looking at and not the enemy next to it. Art of War passive now stacks properly on War Masters regardless of the weapon type you are using. So what Art of War does is it gives you a 15% speed increase to your weapon ability charging, and then when you use your momentum, it'll actually give you 30% more weapon power. So it starts at 10% and goes all the way up to 30%. So you're gonna get 30% more weapon power total for you and your party members. So they've changed that now so where it can work with any weapon, whereas abilities that consume all momentum give 1, 2, or 3 stacks of Art of War depending on ability level. That's 10, 20, or 30%. Abilities that combo, like Gladiator Slice, will give 1 stack of Art of War per execution, totaling 3 stacks for a full combo. Will of Pain is special in that it drains momentum over time, but there are 2 points during that drain that will trigger additional Art of War procs. If Will of Pain is held for its full duration, it generates a total of 3 stacks. Now, Will of Pain is the, I think it's called the Blood Song, the scythe that spins. And you do that ability, you can hold it down and it just kind of spins. For Bulletstorm and Volcano, they should now generate 1, 2, or 3 stacks based on charges used. For Dual Striker abilities, they now trigger 3 stacks of Art of War. The healing effect from Bloodsong's ability, Will of Pain, now scales with both weapon power and ability power in line with other weapon ability effects. They fixed an issue that caused Grim Harvest's ability, Bone Geyser, to scale entirely with ability power. It now scales evenly with both ability power and weapon power, bringing it in line with other weapon abilities. Hailstorm's ability, Volcano, has been improved again. So they swapped the budgets for resilience and weapon power, so Hailstorm will now have much more weapon power than before. It now fires exactly 5 meteors per locked and loaded charge. Meteor damage has been increased by 20%. Meteor blast radius increased by 10%. Meteor drop rate increased by 150%. And meteor landing area reduced by 50%. So the meteor should now land in a more tight, packed area. They fixed a bug with Umbros where the resilience and weapon power budgets were swapped. And Bloodsong's ability, Will of Pain, now causes guard broken enemies to stagger on hit. Tooth and Claw's ability, Shredder Toss, should no longer fail to find valid targets. And Tooth and Claw's ability Shredder Toss should no longer bounce off Silo's clones. For echoes, the Beastmaster Echo has the 3 things that come out depending on the random chance that one of the 3 animal aspects will do something. The Vulture Chill AoE dot has been buffed by 150%, and the Bear Slam damage and break damage increased by 150%. The Grand Deceiver Mars Echo will now only trigger if an enemy is close enough to be pulled into the vortex, and the Riven Echo can now be charged during its cooldown, allowing you to instantly unleash the damage proc once the cooldown is over. You can always have that going on. We'll have to see how long that actually is, because I wanted to put this on somebody, I'm not sure. Added power ratings for Abominous and Plunderful Echoes. I don't really need those. I wonder who's still running those. For the world changes, Reaver Woods Lost Zones now have bespoke counters. So that means is that each particular zone is going to have its own particular encounter, and they're going to go over that right here, where it says Shrouded Woods will have a lot more beast encounters, the Bone Orchard will feature more Reavers, and the Hollow Heart will feature more Hollow ones. So this should make it a lot easier for people that's trying to target certain echoes to go and find out, like, I want to find Hollow ones. Boom, now you need to go into the Hollow Heart. You want to find more Blood Letters and Talons. Now you got to go into the Bone Orchard. So sets that up for people trying to get those Wolf Echoes. All that's going to be a lot easier to find. The Willow Witch's Crowstorm speed has been reduced. Now, if you don't know, and I'm pretty sure you do know, the Crowstorm is that green ball of nastiness that kills us really bad, depending on how you have yourself stacked. So they reduce the speed, so it's going to be easier to kind of get away from it, and they reduce the damage of it by half per tick, which it doesn't really matter if you don't have a decent amount of defense, because you're gonna take a lot of damage. Harp Ripper should now spawn with the correct amount of HP. I didn't know he had the wrong amount of HP. It did take him a while to kill, but it wasn't really that bad. Snowlings will no longer default into fleeing behavior. Increase the level of the Ice Lancers and the Highlands to 20. Added an additional loot island to the hidden heroic mode of Gloom Terrors in the Highlands. So that's really important, this last thing about the increase the level of the Ice Lancers in the Highlands to 20. Hopefully that means that the Echoes have also been increased to level 20, which will give them more power. And progression, the accessory drop rates from large chests has increased from 1 in 6 to 1 in 3. Epic accessory drops from bosses have been increased, so there's a chance that an accessory will be rare, has been reduced to 60%, and because they reduced that to 60%, they've increased the chance that an accessory will be epic to 40%. The mutated accessories should now drop at content level, and mutated accessories are the accessories that drop if you have a mutator on. So like there's like certain shadow accessories that will only drop if you're running like shadow stuff. So that's what that is. Consumables have been added to the chest loot table, which is cool. Now you don't have to really worry about crafting too much. At least we'll have some good consumables drop every once in a while. Added the metal ball trinket to the Helper Coin shop. For those of you guys running Helper Coins like crazy, there's another thing for you to get. I actually need to jump on that. I still haven't yet. Added an invulnerability that is applied to the player only during full dialogue takeovers. We won't see a lot of those. I don't think we've seen any full dialogue takeovers in the middle of combat or in the middle of a dungeon like that. I always felt they've been like at the end or after you've killed everything, then you have to do a takeover. For bug fixes, they fixed an issue where accessories would sometimes reset after traveling. Take that back. Now that they have the jobs boards in there, you might see some standing around in the Highlands and stuff like that. Fixed dyes not appearing in the style tab of the Helper Coin shop. They fixed that. They fixed Sinja's Inventide hat not displaying correctly. They updated interact ranges for housing items. They fixed an issue where players will get stuck on please wait prompt when purchasing items from the store. Improved the functionality of all interacts across the game. Fixed an issue where Gloom Dagger visuals would overlap. Fixed an issue where sound would continuously play after leveling up a weapon's affinity. Fixed an issue where the language setting could not be changed for some players. Fixed an issue where players would get kicked for inactivity while selling to Venge. Selected no to try another character at the end of the tutorial should no longer crash the game. That's funny because that's been around for a long time. Fixed some sound effects channels having a higher volume than intended. Fixed various issues causing hitches when opening the accessory inventory. Fixed various localization issues. Fixed an issue where players could disconnect for inactivity while navigating character menus. Fixed an issue where the Trickster character model could be moved by pairing near him with the dual daggers. Fixed an issue causing party leader to be left in perpetual matchmaking after using gather party feature. And then for some UI and quest, world, mutators, and enemy combat fixes, we're going to go through all of these. So for the UI, character fast travel and setting menus have received visual updates. Imbuements and gloomstones can now be crafted in amounts greater than 1. Fixed an issue where signal fires would display the incorrect state on the map. An issue where fail to add friend would persist on the screen. An issue where players couldn't abandon jobs using a mouse. An issue where the Gloom Collapse Torch UI would be inaccurate. An issue where players could use XP scrolls at max level. They fixed overflowing descriptions for some rush echoes. not the overflow of how much you can have in the echo slot, but just a description that you will press the button so you can open up the window to see more of it. They fixed the Mushroom Masher buff not refreshing on the buff tray. Fixed an issue where the ability unlock icon would persist after switching characters. Fixed an issue where the Dual Striker 1-point flourish was not correctly refreshing. Fixed an issue where the sort by feature would fail to work as intended. They fixed an issue where players could not awaken a Wayfinder via awakening stones on controller. They fixed an issue where incorrect character portrait could be shown in affinity menu. For quest, they fixed an issue where players could not progress the Birds of a Feather quest, inconsistent objectives markers during the quest No Better Friend, typos in some of the jobs. They added a reward tower XP to jobs summary. They added missing objective markers for various quests and jobs. They fixed some trickster events not progress the Reaver reconnaissance job. They fixed various issues where some jobs could be completed without meeting the criteria. They fixed various issues where certain enemies weren't counting toward jobs that they should have. They fixed the mismatch bonus points values for jobs in the quest log. They fixed an issue causing players to get kicked after claiming the bonus rewards for the job board. Fixed an issue where jobs would fail to populate the board or on the board. Mass deception chests should now all start with the correct visual state. Fixed an issue where enemies would fall through the ice in Highlands. For mutators, the mutator effect should now stop when the activity is completed. Gloom Collapse Torch behavior should now be more consistent. They reduced how much overgrowth was healing bosses. The brambles spawned by Gloomshroud will no longer block AI movement. Enemies resurrected by Phoenix eggs will now reset along with the hunt on a party ripe. They fixed the loading screen crash associated with Reaver Woods and Gloomshroud Mutator. Enemy combat. Fixed an issue where Commander Creed's charge attack would deal no damage. Fixed an issue where Commander Creed's slash attack would deal no damage. Fixed an issue where the exploding chest in the Grand Deceiver hunt would not spawn after a party wipe. Fixed an issue where Night Maw's burrow attack warning would not display. Fixed an issue where the Beastmaster would stay targeted on a downed player. Fixed an issue where Night Maw's would lose its collision. An issue where Night Maw would become unresponsive. An issue where players backfilling into Dread Legion could cause phase to fail to progress. An issue where Frost Hunters would become immune. An issue where AI would enter panic evade behavior at inappropriate times. An issue where attacks from Archon Remnants and Codex Sages would not deal damage. An issue where the Seer's projectile would never miss the player. An issue where the Icy Turtle Sword attacks would not deal damage. Can we get something where the Talon's projectile will never miss a player? The challenge is forever. Wherever you are, you could be behind 5 enemies, and the arrow will be like, can we get that? Can we get that? Fixing an issue where the Beastmaster would fail to summon his beast properly. Fixing an issue causing Hunt Boss health to reset when a player self-revives using Phoenix Oil. An issue causing an extra model of the Hunt Bosses to appear during hunts. An issue causing Maras to leash during his hunt. It would be great if they fixed an issue to where you were shooting in the Reaver Woods and it's just not stop doing damage. That would be great if they had that one fixed in this one. Hopefully that will come soon in the hot fix, because that's kind of makes it hard to go through the game. We're shooting somebody with like 0 health and they're still taking no damage. I think the major thing here is going to be a lot of the UI changes. We're going to see a much fresher look at the screen. It's going to feel pretty different, and definitely that ability to craft multiple Gloomstones and imbuements at once is just so great. We needed that so badly. Hopefully they'll continue with these changes and these updates to make some of these quality of life things a lot better. I think I'd like to see something change with the buffs and debuffs. I don't know if you guys noticed, but at the top of enemy bar, you have these diamonds. And inside the diamonds, you'll see buffs and debuffs depending on what you're using. We don't have any way of checking what those are on the enemy. Wish there was a better way to display that for us so we can know what buffs or debuffs are on the enemy if we don't know these symbols of what we're looking at, and if those symbols work to begin with, because sometimes they don't. So that's one thing I would like to see, and I would also like to see some more explanation on a lot of these things that we have. Like, for example, the War Master's ability just says that it increases weapon damage for some time, for a small amount of time. And I wish it would just tell us what that amount of time was. Some of the echoes have similar language where it just kind of says it does something, but like, what is it? Like, deals magical damage. This is the only time we hear about magical damage. What affects magical damage? Is it ability power? Is it weapon power? Is it our health? How much magical damage is it doing? Is that magical damage based off of something else? Is it a percentage of it? So more information in these tooltips would be grateful. But other than that, I think they're doing a pretty good job of getting these out. And this is only the first week of February still. We're still in the first week. Hopefully we'll have another drop this month as well. If not, it'll be at the beginning of March. But I think we should have another drop this month. What do you guys think? Should we have another drop this month or the beginning of March? Let me know. Hit that like button and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.